All right, we are recording Sisterhood Team Call January 27th. So excited to see you guys all popping on. Why don't we open it up for recognition?
I'll start. I'm going to go first for Sophie. She's not able to be on, but she asked me to shout out her entire Team Cup Chicks on Fire, which I love the name. But she's super proud of everybody for the collaboration in your February Team Cup and really wanted to show everybody up. She's sick with a crazy cold, so she's sleeping right now. And then on my team, I have so many coaches that are killing it, but I wanted to shout out Monica White, who started coaching like 3 weeks ago and already has 7 people signed up, is starting her own bod group, is like totally engaging in our free group that we're doing and all in. So super proud of you, Monica.
I'll go. I would love to give a huge shout out to Shelly Lonis. She's one of the coaches on my Team Cup team. She has decided that she's going to make Diamond happen in February. She joined the Crush Nation group. And I can just see all the work that Shelly's doing behind the scenes. So way to go, Shelly. I don't know if you're on this call, but I see all the work that you're putting in. I'm rooting for you. I can't wait to see everything that comes to you in the next couple of months. And a huge welcome to my friend and one of my newer coaches, Natalie Kotsovas. She just finished the training and this is her first official team call. So welcome, Nat.
I'll go. I want to welcome, I have 2 coaches, my first 2 working coaches. I don't believe they're on the call, but they know now how to come back in here and listen. I am so excited, and I just want to say welcome, Katie Wood and Becky Lauer.
I'll go. I want to say a big, huge welcome to Natalie, Erica, Victoria, and Christine. 4 new coaches. They haven't even started any of the training or anything yet in the mentorship. They're going to join in February, but they're already hitting the ground running and spreading the word and starting to work. So that's super exciting. I also want to give a shout out to the Team Cup Courage Over Comfort ladies. It's just incredible how hard everyone is working to look at their Rise Up planners and see their prospect lists for the month of February is crazy, crazy exciting. And I also want to shout out Sheena Crowder, who officially goes Emerald tomorrow. So great job, ladies. So happy for you.
I'll go. I just want to give a shout out. It's not official yet, but Sherry Hood has just been busting her butt to really fill her downline, and I'm so, so proud of her. She's on our Team Cup team and has already declared that she sees Diamond before the end of February, and I believe it 100%. And so I just wanted to give you recognition, Sherry, for such an amazing job that you're doing so far, and I can't wait to watch you crush it.
I'll go. Monica Knowles, I don't think you're on this call, but Monica is one of my coaches decided to level up, step up as a captain on a Team Cup team. I got a little invite into their pod and they are just on fire. Monica, I see your leadership. She has set Diamond as her goal for Team Cup, and I believe you are going to do it. You will do it. And then my second shout out is to Shannon Howard, another one of my coaches that I see such a shift in you, Shannon. 3 days ago, Shannon's like, oh, I have a girl, but you know, it's close to February. Maybe I should just hold her off. And then I'm like, stop it. And she's like, you're right, you're right. And then she locked in SC, and you're just doing amazing, Shannon. So way to go.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'm going to shout out my Team Cup team. They've been like fire since, I don't know, last week we started a chat group. And I can already see that these girls are going to have their own teams by next year, or even this year if we have another Team Cup team. So they're doing so good. And then I'm shouting out my coach's coach, because my other coach is not on, but Elise. She is like gunning for Emerald, and she started her own free group. She is like amazing on her graphics, everything, and her stories. She talks into the camera, and I just want to say, honestly, Elise, you are You are pure fire, and I know that Emerald is around the corner, and so is Diamond. Okay? Bye.
I'll go. I heard someone. I want to give a quick shout out to our Team Cup team as well. The quarantine queens are like already on fire. Like the women that are leveling up their businesses, with just starting and just finishing off the January mentorship, seeing the shift in each and every one of you, and just seeing how excited and fired up you ladies are. I'm just so excited to do Team Cup again. And so we're just excited to launch off with a free group, and we've got so many start strongs rolling in, and just the momentum is amazing. So keep it up, ladies.
Amazing. I'll go. Christina, I want to shout you out because you locked in Emerald. We wanted to wait for Team Cup to get the 3 points, but then, you know, sometimes you just got to lock it up. So congratulations, Christina. I've been invited to all of their Facebook private group, all of my working coaches. So Christine, Christina, Karen, Stephanie, and I've been seeing their leadership. I think it's amazing. I didn't even know they started their own Facebook group. And now we're working on the bod groups because of the Team Cup, but I can see us growing. It's pretty amazing. So congrats, ladies. And I have this new coach, Amanda, that is stepping up. I am very, very proud of my team.
I love it. I'm going to go. I want to shout out, I've got a group of women who we've recently come together, and we're all pushing to get to Success Starter. You ladies know who you are. It's Ingrid, Katie, Harmony, Candace, and Meg, and you ladies are working so hard and like sending out the invites and doing all the things and really coming together. So I just want to shout you out. I see you guys. I see you working. I know it's hard. They've got 3 months left to make it happen. So proud of you guys.
All right. I feel really bad for everybody that's all pumped up about Team Cup because my team's going to win and everyone's just going to feel sad. And I mean, you can try, keep, you know, A for effort. No, I'm just joking. Okay, I would like to shout out my coach, Sarah Patterson, and 2 other Diamond leaders, Erin's coaches, Chantel and Jackie, who all 3 of them qualified for the New Leader Conference and are attending it tomorrow and Friday. So it's a 2-day conference. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about it. Honestly, I could cry. That was probably one of the best weekends of my Beachbody life. So last year, Erin, Jen, and I got to go to the conference. It was in LA. And normally with these events, if you can swing it, you go in like a day early and just sort of take in all the things. And they have like, you know, they have like what they call a core at Summit where they sell all the things and you go and just like explore. And of course it was in LA, you know, usually it's in whatever different cities. And you just get to be poured into by the top leaders in the company. And you know, Summit is absolutely incredible and will completely change your business. But if you have the opportunity to be a part of New Leader Conference, there's not that many people that are going to be there, ladies. Like you are one of probably about 300 or 400 coaches that are going to get to attend that out of 400,000. And even though it's virtual, I trust in Beachbody that they're going to make it special for you. Sorry, I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I just know how much that weekend really meant for Jen, Erin, and I. And I know that wherever you're at in your business, whether you think you're killing it, and I'm speaking to Jackie, Chantel, and Sarah, whether you think you're killing it or whether you're struggling, I know that there's going to be coaches and leaders that are going to speak directly into you and just fill you up. And that you're going to walk out of this weekend feeling super, super empowered and ready to do this. Being in community is one of the absolute best parts of this business. And as this pandemic rolls the fuck on, it really is stealing a lot of the joy that we know of this business from you all. So my hope for you three is that you have the best 2 days, that you feel special, and that you take it all in. Worth noting, it was supposed to be in Las Vegas, so I'm extra sad because, you know, we were going to plan to do all the things since I live here, but we are going to make up for it. So anyway, I want to show you three ladies out. Congratulations. It's massive that you qualified for this conference. I'm so excited. I'm jealous. Erin, congratulations. You're speaking at the conference, and it's just really, really exciting stuff. So congrats to you guys. Does anybody have any more recognition before we kick it off?
I'm just going to say a little something to you and to Erin. I got a message, I shared it with Erin, but when I first was asked to be a coach with Erin, there was somebody else that asked me to be a coach on that same day, and I told them no. And through this business, I've met some other coaches who are with this certain person, and the things that they tell me that go on with other teams, I can't get over how much we are a family here. I have to say that what you and Erin have built is next freaking level. Just hearing from what other coaches on other teams are going through and how they aren't getting the support that they need from just even their upline, it's gut-wrenching actually to read and to hear people like really want this business and not be able to get the direction that they're looking for. So anyways, I just, with you and Erin, and you guys put so much love and support into each one of us, no matter like where we are in our downline, which is incredible. And the fact that we can still have access to Kim and Jamie is like, it's second to none, honestly. And I just want to say thank you.
Thanks, Kyo. Thanks for sharing that. And it's so true. Even, you know, people on close teams are always like, can we attend this of yours? Can we do this? Can we get in? And again, not to like bring it back to the events time and time again, but when we finally get there, guys, you're going to see, like, we have something freaking special, and you're going to feel like literally a celebrity walking down in a posse this big. Tonight, you do not get access to Kim because she canceled about 40 minutes ago. So unfortunately for Kim, she's got a migraine. So we sent her to bed, and we are going to take over. But, you know, we were trying to think of like, oh my God, like Scramble City, what should we talk about? And we decided to keep the topic the same because really the topic was inspired from an emotion that we were feeling ourselves and that we were seeing amongst the team. And so I felt it was, like, we felt it was important just to trek on. The topic tonight is about comparison. And the slogan or the line or whatever that, you know, it's based on is comparison is the thief of joy. And I think that this business really, it's so easy to fall into that trap. Regardless of how successful you are, you know, what rank you are, how much personal development you do, how big your team is, how much money you're making, there's always going to be somebody that's doing it better, making more or whatever, right? And none of us are immune to it. And I think I'm just going to open up a little bit by sharing, you know, Erin and I, how we started this business. And it's so interesting because, you know, most of you know how polar opposite we are. And I think that those are our own strengths, right? You know, what's different about me is my strength, and what's different about Erin is her strength. But what has been cool and hard and amazing and challenging is that we've never been in the same space. We've taken our strengths and we've gone on our own separate lives and utilized our strengths in different areas. And 3 years ago, all of a sudden, now we're doing the same thing. And so it's been really, really easy for us to compare ourselves to each other along the way. You know, Erin has told the story about how when she went to Summit and it was really hard to watch me walking the stage and having some early success before she did and feeling like crap, right? But then there are so many other things about how Erin's handled coaching that I feel I can't do. And this job is a constant sort of like checking yourself. And I even did this like literally last week, where I have to remember that my differences are my superpower. The things that I don't do, like, and I'm just saying Erin because we've, started this business and she's my partner. The things that I don't do like Erin is exactly the reason I'm me. And so one of the biggest things that we hope you'll come out of tonight feeling is the determination within you to find your own superpower and to figure out what it is about you that is going to make this business work and is going to be great and is worthy of sharing and all those types of things. Over the past 3 years, I've had some seasons of easy in terms of sharing on social and some seasons of really, really hard. By that, I mean that like, I just didn't feel like sharing. I, felt like it was a job. I was questioning whether or not this was going to work for me, whether or not I wanted it to. Like, do I want to share on social this much? Is this something that I can see in my life long term? Thankfully, because of our team and because of Kim and Jamie and because of this big entire community, I've always just trekked on, right? And just shown up and stayed consistent and worked through those emotions. But I just wanted to have a call where we were all really on the table and honest and open about the fact that I'm not over it. And I probably won't be in another 2 years and another 2 years after that. It is constantly refocusing and figuring out where you are in your own journey and standing in your own business. And that's what's going to really help you stay focused on not comparing yourself to others. I'm going to pass it to Jen Milks, and she's going to share a little bit with us tonight.
Thanks, Court. So I don't know about you guys, but when I saw the event for this in the Sisterhood and I saw the title, I had a frog in my throat and I was like, oh God, I feel like this call's about me. Like deep down, I just had this moment of like, that's me. Like it happens to me a lot. So do me a favor. Raise your hand if you have caught yourself comparing yourself to other coaches in this business in a not great way, like it makes you not feel good. Anybody? Okay. I think it's really powerful and important for you to see all the other hands up and to recognize that, like Courtney said, this is something that we all battle with. And I think this topic is really, really important because I think it will be something that we forever do battle with, because there will always be someone ahead of the game of us in this game, right? Or in this business. And like Courtney said, staying in your own lane and not looking forward and not looking back, but standing where you are and with pride of how far you've come and what has gotten you to this place. Even if you've just begun, you've begun. That's the first big step, right? Or if you've been doing this for 3 years, then that a lot of this is going to come down to comparison. So for me, I'm not going to lie, I had a hard week. I read Erin's post last week about quitting her job, and it hit me so hard in such a way that I find it hard to even verbalize it, because my husband even knew, like, even though I was kind of quiet about it, he knew. And the next morning I woke up and he had this big little surprise for me or whatever, because he knows that I not only look up to Erin, but we started around the same time. Erin and I were both Courtney's first coaches. Like Erin was her first coach and then I was her second. And like our sisterhood team calls, you guys, was the 3 of us and my sister. It started off as a team call of 4. And so to be there alongside of these powerhouse women, but to also feel sometimes like I'm in their shadow, has been a real, it's been a real struggle for me. And for the most part, I've used Courtney and Erin's success as a way to fuel me and to show me what's possible and to inspire me to really, reach for those goals because they've done it. So I know it's possible. But I'm human and it gets me down sometimes. Like, I'm a teacher. I want to quit my job to do this full time. And Erin and I've talked about this for years. So, since we started this, right? And so to hear her say that that's coming to reality for her, and for me, what it really did was, I let myself have a moment of pity party. And then I was like, all right, Jen, what are you going to do about this? Are you going to let this beat you down, or are you going to let it level you up? And so it really was a gut punch for me to take a look at my goals and ask myself, am I on the path that's going to lead me to retirement? And are my actions today reflecting that goal that I want to achieve? And I know how hard Erin works, and I know that it's not luck. I know that she's doing the do things. And for a lot of times I can sit back on my haunches and wish that I could have it. But if I'm not doing the work, I have to get real with myself. Um, and so I think that it's really important to be able to flip that script, I'm not naturally a really competitive person, so it might be easier for me, but being able to, rather than look at those coaches that you're comparing yourself to, rather than looking at it as a comparison of I'm less worthy or I'm not as good as, instead being able to flip that and be able to see, okay, what is it about them that I also can do? Or what is it that I can do to get me to that level? And use that as the inspiration to show you what's possible. You guys know, and it's kind of joked about that I'm like the PD queen, personal development, but it's because I got a lot of stuff to work on. And I love, love, love this business opportunity. You guys, a quarter of our business, when you look at the 4 vital behaviors of coaching, a quarter of it is personal development. A quarter of it is the work that you do on you. And so if you catch yourself, or when you catch yourself in the comparison game, being able to be real with yourself about what kind of personal development you need to be diving into to help you overcome those self-limiting beliefs, to overcome those feelings of, why am I not as good? Or why is she better than me? Or whatever it is that's holding you back in this business. So I want to really empower and encourage you to, it's not done in a judging way. So never to be done as a judgment, but as a self-assessment. And I think that I've grown, or I know over the last 2.5 years, I've grown more like in maturity about my emotions and being able to admit to myself that this isn't serving me and thinking this way isn't serving me. And there's been times where I've had to go and unfollow a bunch of coaches because, as much as I like to think that they were motivating me, they weren't. They were making me feel lousy about myself. And so be okay with that. If that's what you need to do to stay in your own lane, to find your own direction, then I want to encourage you to do that. But flipping the script in any way that you can and being aware of that, I think, is really, really key. So, when you catch yourself watching other people's stories, or when you catch yourself comparing yourself to others and it bringing you down, being able to ask yourself, why am I feeling that way? What can I do to help overcome this feeling? And what can I do to really, try to get a hold of this? And if PD is something that would serve you, personal development, then do it. I've said it time and again, PD is not reading a page of Heart Talk in the morning, you guys. As much as we like to think that that's PD, reading like a nice inspirational quote, that's not it. Get into some heavy duty stuff. Dig deeper and ask yourself, what are some of these self-limiting beliefs, and what are some of the things that are robbing you of your joy in this business because you're comparing yourself to others, and see if that can help you overcome this. So I hope that's helpful, but that's kind of my take on how things have been. For the record, I'm very happy for Erin, and we were joking about the fact that we're going to be lunching together pretty soon when we can, and I can't wait till that day comes. But in the meantime, I'm going to celebrate her success and be so proud of her and how hard she's worked. So I'm going to toss it over to her now.
You are amazing, Jen. I'm so so blessed and honored to do this with you. And I think this is a really important call because I just hope that everybody realizes that the ups and downs of this business are so severe. Like the highs are so high and the lows can be really sad and lonely. And we really want to normalize that. I don't want you looking at me or Courtney or Jen or Koo or any of the other leaders on his team and being like, man, she's got it all figured out. Like none of us have it all figured out. For me, to be completely honest with you, one of the things that really held me back from doing this business for a long time was that I felt like I was way too boring. My entire life, I've Courtney and I don't know if you guys know, but we come from a really big family. It's not just the two of us, there's actually 6 of us. And I've always felt like the loser in the group. Like I've always felt like I'm not really a partier, I'm not really fun, I'm not super outgoing, or I don't really have great fun, exciting stories to say. And ultimately at our house, I feel like everybody is full of life and energy and big storytellers and life of the party like Courtney. And I've always felt kind of like the boring one. And then when this whole opportunity came out, this is why I convinced Courtney to do it. I was like, you should do this. People love you. You would be so dynamic. People would love to follow you. You have such a dynamic energy. Oh my God, Jackie, are you making fun of me in the chat? What is going on? Oh, Jackie, you know it's true. So it's easy for me to say, Courtney, you should do this because it just felt like such a natural fit. People are drawn to her. And I've always, it's just been my and you guys are all saying that you're not the boring, but that's how limiting beliefs are. Everybody else looks at you and you're like, how could you think that? But that's my truth. It held me back in this for 4 years because I was like, nobody is going to be watching a suburban mom who goes to the hockey rink every week and literally has no stories to tell. And it took me a lot of time, even after I convinced Courtney to do it. It was a good 6 months before I was like, okay, I'll do it. But even at that, I was like, but I'm not going to run. I'm not going to. It held me back. It held me back for a long while. And feeling less than sucks. But ultimately, I am a hard worker. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And I showed up every single day. And I kept showing up every single day, and I kept talking to other boring suburban moms who actually kind of related to me. And I found my people through this. And I ultimately feel like now, I joke about being boring. I still think that. It's fine. It's still something I'm dealing with. But it's also my superpower. My consistency, my discipline, my work ethic, it's made me successful at this. And I will say, I don't know that I've had a massive physical transformation with Beachbody. Yeah, I've lost weight, but it's not what's changed the most for me. What's changed the most for me is that this business, these programs have given me the confidence to be okay with being boring, Erin. And 3 years ago, I was ashamed of that. I would certainly never talk to 87 people about it. And now it's that's who I am, and that's awesome. And that's why I love this business so much, is that whether you end up being wildly successful in it or not, if you actually go in with this program, with these products, with this community, with the personal development, you will come out a better person. And I genuinely feel like this business has transformed who I am and given me the confidence to be happy with who I am. And that is a freaking gift. So I wanted to say here, I know Erin asked her Team Cup this past week, and I thought it was a brilliant question. So I asked my Team Cup team the same question, but I really want you guys all to start thinking about what your superpower is. And that is hard if you're still at that point where you're like, well, I'm the boring person too. I got nothing to offer. Let's start maybe with what is holding you back right now? What is the thing what is your, I'm a boring person? What is your self-limiting belief? What is muting you? What is holding you back from being wildly successful in this? Who are you comparing yourself to every day? Really take your pen out right now and write this shit out, because That's the stuff you need to work on. And when Jen was saying, get gritty with your personal development, the stuff you're writing down right now, that's the stuff you want to work on. That's the stuff you want to seek out on. You want to seek podcasts or books or things you can on that. And that's why we say it's personal. Like, you don't need to share it here. That's just what you need to start working on. I give you permission that if there are people, like Jen was saying, if there are coaches you're following that just like after you watch them, you're like, stop following. Just mute the stories. Stop following. Like, that's not serving you. Not serving you. So figure out what it is that's holding you back. Write that out. And now, like, genuinely give yourself permission to be like, damn, what am I good at? What is my superpower? What makes me different and unique? And friggin' embrace that. And if you're having a hard time, like, ask your best friend, what do you think I'm good at? Like, genuinely. I'm excited because there's 87 of us on here who are badass, powerful women. I don't think any of the guys are on here, so I'm just going to say women. But every single one of us has that limiting belief. And unless you start putting like action to word to work, it's always going to be there. It's not magically 3 years later you're going to start laughing about how you're the boring person on the team, right? You have to actually do stuff about it and start taking steps to being the person you're meant to be. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to Milen, who's going to get tactical with us because that's what she does best.
Thanks, Erin. Hey guys. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit like about now what can you do with all of these thoughts brewing in your head around comparison and like other people are doing this or I'm struggling with this and what can I do here? And I'll share an example that just happened to me recently. But I want to talk a little bit about like the importance of authenticity and your own, like being true to yourself and staying in your lane. And I don't think that's always easy as a coach. And it's certainly not easy as a coach on this team when it seems like when we have a team of so many freaking incredible women and literally seems like everybody is fucking killing it. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in like a struggle moment right now. Like I'm just finding life is hard right now. COVID is hard. Virtual school is really hard. Trying to work, is hard. Trying to be the teacher is hard. Like everything is just hard right now. And I'm not, I haven't been in this kind of space since I've been coaching. Like this is the hardest like personal space I've been in since I've been coaching. So I'm in this weird zone and this weird space where I'm like, I've always been like super positive, super go-getter, like all in on these programs. Like that's kind of been my jam and why I feel like people are joining me. And right now I'm struggling and I'm like, how do I share this authentically? And it's even harder because I'm seeing, it seems to me like everybody else is like, all is good in the hood. Like no problems happening here. Like virtual school is perfect and everything is hilarious. And we're doing all of these, like going for beautiful walks. And actually, Jen, you don't know, but you posted something a couple of days ago and you were like, I'm struggling. And you shared that. And that kind of like triggered me. And I was like, me too. But it's like I needed somebody else to share it first. And I don't like that because I want to be authentic to myself. So like you guys be super aware of that. And I think often we want to come across as like put together and strong and we have it all figured out. And we are a coach because this is what we do, right? But it's not always like that. And I think when we're in this space, it can be hard to figure out how to coach when you're like not at your peak personal performance. But I think it's so important to be authentic, but be authentic in a helpful way. There's a difference between being authentic about your struggles. And I think there's power in sharing your struggles because it makes you relatable, but there's value in sharing your struggles and then offering advice or suggestions, or literally just offering a message that it's okay if you're struggling. I understand, because I'm struggling too, and I haven't really figured it out, but like, I'm here with you. That will help people connect with you and literally makes them feel better about what they're going through, because they're doing the comparison thing with you. So, you know, being true to you really ultimately feels good. When you feel good, you feel centered, it's going to come across on social media. And so if right now you're true to you is like you're struggling, then like own that and find a way to share that on your social. It makes you human. It makes you relatable. Your people are going to relate because they're going through the same thing. If you have like, you know, if you're a teacher right now, you have teachers following you. Well, they're freaking out too. Like they're having a hard time too. If you're a single mom and you have single moms following you, they're having a hard time. Like your people are going to relate to you. It's going to help you build trust in your community too. But I think you need to do it in a way that's not just like a lamenting and a pouring it out there, and there's some sort of value involved. So for me, like, you know, I'm finding things hard right now, and where I'm at like tactically is I had been talking about 9-week Control Freak, and it was the big program that was coming out, and everybody's excited about 9-week Control Freak. And I was genuinely excited also about 9-week Control Freak. Like my excitement for it was true. When I did the sample workouts, like I did like it. But I'm 5 weeks into 9-week Control Freak and I don't like it. It's not working for me. I'm not motivated in the morning. I'm not into the workouts. It's just not what I need right now. If this were a year ago and everything else in my life felt like it were like in place and I was in a good space, I'd probably be fine with like continuing with 9-week Control Freak. But I have a shitload of guilt because I've just invited 60 women to come do 9-week Control Freak with me. And some of them are loving it. And some of them I don't think they are, but nobody's really saying it. And so as a coach, I'm like, how do I balance this? Because like I need a workout right now that I'm going to love in my life, but I feel terrible about telling like my challengers that this isn't for me. And I really I had a conversation with my friend who happens to be in my 9-week Control Freak group. And she's like, what if you fake it? Like, what if you just do the videos and like do the bands, but do your other workout? And I'm like, I don't like that. Like, that's not, you know, that's going to come across. Like, I think I'm coming across not excited in my videos because I'm not excited in my videos. So, you know, ultimately what I did was sent a video note to my group, and I just told them like straight up, like, this is where I'm at. I didn't like lament about the program. It's still a great program, but I'm like, we're all adults here. Like, I think it's pretty clear that there's not one size fits all fitness, but I'm having a hard time in like life, and this program isn't doing it for me. And right now what I know I need is a program that I'm going to be super motivated on and like have more time, blah, blah, like all of these things. And I was worried that some of them would be like, why did you promote this then? Why did you like, you know, why did we just pay $200 to do this program? And honestly, the feedback was amazing from my community. I got comments like, this is why you're my coach. This is why I'm signing up with you, because you're always authentic and genuine and you share your struggles, but you're also giving us like your other option, like the other program that you're choosing. And it really helped to bring like honesty into my community. I also had some women that were like, so freaking glad you said it, because I'm also not into it. And, you know, I was feeling like a failure and like I need to keep going. And like your struggle doesn't need to be 9-week Control Freak. Like, I think generally people love it. I'm just using that as an example. Like if you're struggling with nutrition right now, if you're struggling with lack of time, lack of motivation, virtual school, COVID, like all of the things, you know, it's an opportunity to be genuine with your community and build trust with your community, but then help give them solutions. Like for me now, I'm doing Lift 4, and I decided to do Lift 4 for a bunch of different reasons. One of them is like, I feel really time strapped right now and I want to do something that's 4 days a week, because those other 3 days a week, I'm not going to lie, I'm not doing my personal development either, because I want to use that time to work on my coaching business and do my freaking laundry, because that's what I'm missing right now. And my personal development, I'm going to do like 4 days a week. But that was a stressful decision because all of the great coaches that I follow show their personal development every single morning. And that's like my model that I've seen works. And like, that's what I should be doing. Right. But I've decided like, no, it's not working for me right now. It's not working for my life. So I'm choosing to not show my personal development for like those 3 days because I'm doing my laundry at 5 in the morning on those days. And that's how I'm using my time. But I'm sharing that, and people that feel the same way as me are like, okay, yeah, me too. So like, stay in your own lane with respect to coaching, programs, nutrition, whatever it is. Like, there's probably the majority of coaches are all going in this direction. If this doesn't feel good for you, it's going to come across. And if you need to like go over here, you totally can. Do it in a thoughtful way and in a way that's respectful to the people that have joined you, you know, and really share, like share your plan, not just your struggles, but share your plan. So that's what I wanted to cover in a tactical sense. I'm going to hand it back to Courtney.
Thanks, Milan. I'll share that Transform 20, I faked it. Like it, and it was a dark time in my coaching career. I was smoking, I was struggling, I was all the things. I had many, many hangovers during that program, and I felt like I couldn't quit, and it was only 20 minutes, and why couldn't I do this? But when you're smoking like a pack a day, it's pretty hard to do Transform 20. So I wish that I had pivoted. And I really think that it ties in. And also, I love 9-week control freak. You are crazy. But that's the beauty of the difference in everyone, right? Like, you know, also I saw somebody say, I think it was Melissa, who is a dear friend of mine here in Las Vegas, comparing myself to my ideal self, my perfectionist mindset. I'm like the anti-perfectionist. I do things like on a whim all the time, rarely think them through. To me, I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's the best part of this business. Figuring out who you think is your ideal self and then chasing her. I think it's the reason that I've been able to quit smoking and quit, you know, doing other things in my life that weren't serving me, because I put this ideal self up on this pedestal as who I need to be in order to be successful in this business. Like, I've never had a job that forced me to see who I need to become in order to be successful, right? I've been able to show up at a lot of 9-to-5s and get it done and be successful without having to personally work on who I am as a human. And this job has allowed me to do that. So to any of the perfectionists out there, I would write down who you think your ideal self is and find joy in chasing her. Find joy in knowing that like the things you're doing tomorrow are actually bringing you in the direction that's closer to her. I don't think we'll ever get there, right? But we're constantly chasing her. And I know for sure that my ideal self is not the same as any one of you. So I think that identifying who your ideal self is can actually make a more clear path towards who we want to become and what the frick we're even doing here. I think that's it, guys. I don't want to like keep you all. I know that, you know, everybody's got so much on the go. But think about this a little bit tonight and think about how you want to move forward. I know for me, I'm in a constant state of pivot, and that feels okay. I was in a funk for Monday, and Tuesday I woke up and I was still in it, and I was like, ugh, I'm like, things are good for me. Like, honestly, my kids are still in preschool. I'm not struggling with the school things that so many of you guys are. I still get to send my kids. I'm really not in that big of a season of struggle. And that was playing on me. Like, why can't I get out of this funk? Like, things are fine, you know? And really all it took for me was giving more than I usually do in my workout. And that clicked me out of it. So find your thing, lean into this journey. And I truly believe it helps.
Pivot.
All right, guys. Have an amazing night.